Good morning. Today we are going to be dealing with combinations. We're going to use combination to be able to determine the number of ways an event can occur. Remember on the last section that we cover the concept if we have 5 animals, in how many different ways can we rearrange these 5 animals. So because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 5 ways of this one. 5 are available for the first spot, 4 available for the second spot, 3 available for the third spot, 2 available for the fourth, and for the last one we only have 1. So in that case it will be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, or just 5 factorial. So by now you should be comfortable that if we have 5 items to rearrange, that'll be 5 factorial. Another concept that we learned last time is that if they are having a race, how many different ways can we have a first, second, and third? So for the first place, we can have 5 people available. For the second place, we have 4 people. And for the third place, we have 3 of them, so it'll be just 5 times 4 times 3. We're not concerned about who finishes 4th or 5th, so we only have 5 times 4 times 3. On this section, we are covering how many different ways can I select 2 animals. So how many different ways can I select 2 objects? So if I have a pool of 5, how many different ways can I select 2 of them? Let's say, for the first one I can select a dolphin and a fish. That's one way of selecting 2 of them. Or I can select a frog and a fish. That's another way. Or I can select a duck and a fish, so I can pair them up. And you can continue on how many other different ways I can select. And that's basically it, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 different ways that we can actually select 2 items at a time. Now notice that in this case, if we select a frog and a dolphin, or a dolphin and a frog, it really doesn't make a difference. So the order does not matter. We basically are just selecting 2 items. So let's go and start with the definition of combination. Combination of n objects taken at our time. So we have, for example, 5 objects taken 2 at a time. This is the notation. N choose R. So be n choose R. We're going to do the n factorial. In this case, n is 5 factorial. Then we're going to take the difference between n and r. In this case, it will be 5 minus 2. Remember, we have 5 objects and we're selecting 2 at a time. So 5 minus 2 will be 3 factorial. So we are subtracting, and that'll give us 3 factorial. And then we just have r factorial, which in this case will be 2. You won't be able to expand it. So 5 factorial will be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 3 factorial will be 3 times 2 times 1. 2 factorial will be 2 times 1. So the 1 cancels, the 2 cancels, the 3 cancels. And we can reduce the 4 and the 2. We can divide by 2. So that becomes, divide by 2 gives me 2, gives me 1. So in this case we have 5 times 2, which is equal to 10. So just like we saw, there are 10 different ways to select 2 objects from a group of 5. Now let's start with example number 1. And yes, you must be able to memorize this formula. We're going to be using throughout the whole chapter, and you will be able to be comfortable with the formula. So we have example number 1. It says, during the school year, the girls' basketball team is scheduled to play 12 home games. So we have a total of 12. Suppose your parents are allowing you to attend 5 of those games. So you can only take 5. How many different ways can you select 5 games? So you have a total of 12. How many different ways can you select 5? The order does not matter in which you select them. So it will be 12, choose 5. There are 12 games available and we are selecting 5 of them. And then we just need to plug into the formula. That'll be 12 factorial over 12 minus 5 will be 7 factorial. So basically subtract the 12 minus the 5 will be 7 factorial and then the 5 factorial. And now we just expand it. It'll be 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over. Now the 7 factorial, I'm going to start right here. 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And I still have 5 factorial. 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Let's see, the 7 cancels, the 6 cancels, the 5 cancels. So notice that all of them cancel. A lot of the times, instead of writing 7 all the way down, because I noticed that there's a 7 factorial, I'm going to stop right here. And the rest, this is equivalent to 7 factorial. So a lot of times I'll just write down 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, and then 7 factorial. Because that will cancel with this 7 factorial. And then we still have 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So let's say 5 and 2, that gives me 10. That will give me 12. Therefore, I just have 11 times 9 times 8. And you should not end up with anything on the denominator except for the 1. 11 times 9 will be 99. And then I'm going to multiply on the side. Well, let me multiply above. 99 times 8. That'll be 72. Carry 7. 72, 79. So it'll be a total of 792 different ways that you can select 5 games out of 12. Go and try example number 2. See if you guys can do it by yourselves. So try example number 2. Go and pause it. Great. It says your parents are taking you and 3 of your friends to Disneyland. So they're taking 3 of your friends and yourself. You have 7 close friends who you would like to take. How many ways can you select 3 of your friends? So you're only selecting 3 of them. So you have a total of 7 and you are selecting 3. Remember, the order does not matter. So if you select Maria, Carlos, and Carla, or select Carla, Maria, and Carlos, it really doesn't matter the order. So we can use combination. We have 7 factorial. Then 7 minus 3 will be 4 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. It will be 7 times 6 times 5 times 4. I notice that I have a 4 underneath, 4 factorial. So I'm just going to still write them 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. I'm just going to stop at 4. And I'm going to make a factorial to indicate that it's all the way multiplied to 1. Because I'm going to place this 4 factorial right underneath, or it automatically cancels. And I still have my 3 times 2 times 1. 3 times 2 is 6, so that will cancel. 7 times 5 will be 35. So there are 35 ways that you can select 3 out of your 7 friends.